Hello and welcome to my brand new podcast, Wrapping My Head Around It, where I'm going to be talking all things mental health and well-being and finding out a little bit about my guests. This series is going to be completely different from anything that I've done before. And I've got such incredible guests, like my first one today, singer-songwriter Harlee. Hiya.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm good. We've had a bit of a faff, haven't we? Bit of faff with this one.
Yeah, but third time's the charm.
Third time's a charm. We're here now. How's things? How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Doing good. Yeah, busy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff that we've got to talk about today, right?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But as we said, we've been back and forth for a while, talking on DMs, going in about mental health and music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a bit about you then. Obviously, you're a singer. You've done loads of songwriting. When is it that you started getting into music? Like, what age did you start and what made you think, yeah, I'm going to do this as a job?
I've always been very creative and I've definitely always been drawn to music and just like singing and writing and dancing. I'd say, I think when I was like 12, I definitely started to take it more seriously. Yeah. But ever since I was young, I've always just kind of been like, Mum, Dad, come watch me. Like, I want to like put on a performance or whatever. I always used to like get everyone to shut up and like I just wanted to be like the main character all the time.
Main character energy, I love that.
Yeah. I literally, people still tell me stories to this day. But yeah, so I think my first song that I sang was like S Club 7, Reach for the... No, that's not... Is that right? S Club 7,
Yeah.
Another one was the McDonald's song, the Pizza Hut.
Oh, what, the fast food one where it's like... Brilliant.
Yeah, I had like a few songs that were like my go-to. But yeah, that was obviously just a bit of fun. And then I think when I was like 12, I realised that I was like really passionate about music and I'd go to music to chill out, for like a bit of therapy, and it was my way of, I guess, dealing with things. Like it's just always something that I've been so drawn to. And then obviously songwriting as well. I got into songwriting when I was, again, 12, 13.
Wow.
And I'm really glad that I got into it young because I've just grown as a person and I've developed as a writer. And obviously the more that I write, the better that I get. And I guess as well, it was another way of dealing with things, emotions, feelings, things that I didn't really know how to say out loud. I could just kind of like put it all down and read it and be like, oh, you know, this could be a little song. Like it's mad like thinking about songs that I wrote when I was 12 to now as well.
Yeah.
I think one of the first songs I did was called Forever Young or something.
Okay.
I think so. It's something young anyway. But yeah, from then till now it's like a really funny little process. But yeah.
And where did you start? Did you start off in like, you started off like writing in your bedroom and singing in your bedroom and things like that, right?
Yeah, so I just sing in the mirror all the time.
Yeah.
Just having a little boogie by myself, just a little sing song.
Yeah. I must admit, I'm more of a shower singer. Shower and car, turn it up. I sound great a lot of the time, but not to anyone else, just myself.
People love singing in the shower.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, what's the word?
The acoustics.
Yeah, is pretty good, to be fair. But yeah, I started in my bedroom, had like a bunk bed, like a bed at the top with like a desk underneath, and that's where I had my laptop, and that's where I set up all the videos and stuff for the covers that I was doing.
Yeah.
Which was just really funny. Like I wish I still had those, but I don't think I do. I think probably lost somewhere.
We'll have to dig them out the archive.
I know, yeah. Please come back to me. I just want to see them for like one more time. So yeah, that's where I'd record all my covers, and then I'd just like upload them to YouTube. And the camera would always like slightly cut off my face because I didn't have a clue how to properly record at 12. I was just kind of like press one button and la 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 start singing. So like you just kind of see like just like neck up. And it's quite funny. It was cute. So yeah, I had like my best friend at the time, my neighbour. I'd like sing with her all the time and just like play X Factor and just competitions and stuff. And then my neighbours always used to have their windows open, so like when we'd be in the garden just singing and stuff, they'd like always here. And then they went over to my house and was like, I think Harlee, you know, should maybe take this seriously. I think she's really good and so yeah, it kind of like progressed from there. And when I bump into them sometimes, they're just so happy for me and made up for me that obviously then till now they're just like, it's amazing to see you grow. And maybe if it wasn't for them, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have took them up on it, but 'cause I was just doing it for a bit of, you know, fun and just being a kid and stuff. But yeah,
but it's mad to think though, like, you know, going from like, because all of this for me started whilst I was in my bedroom as well. You know, I started just with a microphone and was just like, yeah, I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But do you appreciate it a lot more knowing that where you came from in your bedroom, singing covers, then uploading it to YouTube, to where you are now playing these like huge festivals and gigs and stuff like that? Like, do you find it like quite humbling where you started as well?
Yeah, definitely. I never expected, I guess, to get this far.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like when I started it, I didn't really have any expectations. I was just having fun with it. You know, obviously I thought, I'm going to have to get a real job. Like, I'm not going to earn money from this.
Don't do it. Adulting is not fun, honestly. Like,
no, but like literally it's one of those industries where you've got to have big balls to really go for it and to kind of think, this is what I want to do long term, this is how I want to make money. You know, it's mad. Like, I feel like I really did like dive right into it, but I wouldn't change it, obviously, even though it's got its ups and downs. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world. I don't know what else I'd be doing. Like, I'm not good at anything else. It's just always something that's just been like, music is in me and it always will be. But yeah, then until now, it's just mad, like, looking back. But I'm just so grateful for all the opportunities that have come my way and all the doors that have opened, and, you know, for everything that's happened. It's happened for a reason, and, you know, no regrets, anything like that. I feel like it's definitely made me the person that I am today. And I think, like, I hope I'll always stay humble and grounded, and I don't want it to change me, or, you know, I always want to just be really transparent with people, and people that are, you know, support my music. And because I think how you get like the people that were there for you at the start and at the bottom, like, you should always bring them up when you get to a certain point and stuff. Like, never forget the people who were there for you at your lowest, and that believed in you and told you to never give up, and kept pushing you, like my mum and dad and my friends and my family. I'm just so grateful for everyone that stuck by me and that believed in me, because it's hard to always believe in yourself as well.
This is the thing, and it's lovely that you get those people that pick you up as well. I mean, for me, like, when I was a musician, I would have, like, I was a drummer at the time, bit different, but like, for me, when my dad was running me around with my drum kit and like this, that and the other, and like when they used to come, my mum and dad used to come to my gigs, and my sisters and stuff like that, and I was just sort of sat there and I was just like, I didn't appreciate it as much back then as what I do now. Like, for me, like, not doing as music as much as what I do now. Like, I do obviously this and other side of things, but I'm just a bit like, do you know what? Yeah, I kind of took it for granted a little bit, I think. But rebalancing that now and putting it into like the presenting and the stuff like this, like, everybody now is like, oh, how's the podcast going? Or how's the, you know, the TV and radio work going? And I'm like, yeah, it's actually all right. It's actually getting there. Do you know what I mean? Like, anytime that I go home, I'll go back to the rugby club, something like that, and all my boys are like, so, what's coming up? I'm like, shit, I need to get something else on the go then. But yeah, it's just so nice and humbling to have that support network around you.
Yeah, definitely. It keeps you grounded, and you don't end up in la la land. I just feel like you really need that close-knit, like, supportive group around you. And I think if it wasn't for the people around me, and same with you, like, you know, maybe we wouldn't be here, or we wouldn't have the same outlook on it. And like, my dad has been my number one supporter since the very start. When I was too young to travel by myself, he was there. He was coming everywhere with me. He came to America with me.
Wow.
He used to go to London with me all the time. He's always been my rock. He's always believed me when I wanted to give it up, pack it in, get a normal job. He'd always, there'd be tears. I'm not gonna lie, there'd be tears, but I feel like I definitely needed that tough love, because I was just so in my own head, and I think when you're young as well, for me, like, I didn't take it seriously when I should have. Because I just feel like when you're young as well, you've got so many other things on your mind, so many other things that you want to do. You want to experience life, you want to be with friends, you want to have a good time, you want to be out quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just, sometimes it was hard to really, I don't know, think about my future and stuff. But I think, again, it's made me into the person that I am. And if it wasn't for my dad and, you know, the people around me, it would be very different. But yeah, we love Jammy Dodger.
Jammy Dodger. I was waiting for it. I knew it. I knew that the nickname was coming. I was like, I love it. He's lovely as well. I met him about 10 minutes ago. Brilliant lad. Love that.
Yeah, and he brought me here, so he's still in the game.
He's still. I'll have to come up next time and get him a pint.
Sure.
But Harlee, you know, with your music, obviously, you've done a few collaborations, which we'll list off a little bit later. Who's your favourite artist? And then who would be your dream collaboration?
Oh my God, there's so many. Every time I think about the answer to this question, it's probably always different because there's just so many people. I've always adored Amy Winehouse.
Oh, yeah.
She was someone that was always playing in my house when I was younger. My dad, again, she introduced me to Amy's music. I just think she's incredible. Got her on my arm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I can see that. But, yeah, she's one of my favourites. Just how unapologetic she was. Oh my God, I said that word right. Do you remember last time when I was like, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
I can't say certain words, it takes you a minute. But
my mum's the same. She can't say millennium or aluminium. She says millennium. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Like the N's and M's mix into.
Sorry, mum, to shout you out there.
Same word. Yeah, but she was definitely an inspiration. You know, she was just so like raw and authentic, and she spoke from the heart, and she just didn't care about what anyone else thought, and she was just always herself. And yeah, she was delightful. And yeah, you know, she's not here anymore, but she'll always be a ledge. Adele. Yeah, I love Adele. I just love, obviously, one of the most amazing voices, her songs, her as a person.
Oh, she's
I'd
great.
love to go on a night out with her, or just, I don't know, just meet her or anything.
Yeah.
I just think she's great. She seems like such a good laugh. Honestly, I love her.
But it cracks me up because obviously voice of an angel, and then she opens her mouth and she sounds like a black cab driver. Like, it's literally just like, oh, I love.
Cackle as well. She's like, ah.
Oh, don't, honestly.
But I love it though. I love it. She's great. Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I think, oh my God, just
Insane voice.
yeah, I've watched so many videos of her performing, and just how a voice like that can come out of someone.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because it's so effortless as well. I couldn't say that word then. So effortless. Who else? There's so many. Nelly Furtado.
She's great. I feel like Nelly Furtado's underrated.
Oh my God.
So underrated.
She is. Like, back in the day though, she was, I mean, she's still massive now, but like you said, she's underrated. I think her songs with Timbaland's another one.
Yeah.
Timbaland, I'd love to collab with one day. I think like, he's one of the best producers of all time, 100%. But yeah, Nelly I've always been a fan of. I loved like the upbeat songs she'd do, and then she did like a bird, and just like the versatility that she's got. I really rate that.
Yeah.
Norah Jones.
Love Norah Jones.
Yeah.
Great tone to her voice.
Yeah, I think her voice is magical.
Yeah.
A lot of females.
Yeah.
I listened to when I was younger, and that I look up to for sure. So yeah, there's some to name a few.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot more.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus. Sorry, nearly forgot Miley.
Oh, can't forget Miley.
Her voice is just insane, and
Yeah.
just like her whole vibe.
Yeah.
She defo inspired me a little bit to get like tattoos and stuff.
Is it?
It's your fault, Miley. It's your fault. I'm addicted. No. Yeah, she's great. Someone that I'd love to collab with. Again, it's a hard question because there's so many.
Yeah.
Swedish House Mafia.
That would be sick.
They've just released a new song. But Don't You Worry Child was a song that I used to sing all the time when I was little. So yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah.
Calvin Harris.
I could see that. I'd love to hear that.
It's iconic. Do you know what I mean? He's always reinventing himself, which I love.
Do you know what? I saw him, when was it? I saw him at Wembley Stadium a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
and he was doing like the headline slot at this event. And I was sat there and I was like, I didn't realise, like, I knew Calvin from back in the day and all that lot. And when I was like listening to the songs that he had out and the sound now, like, I'm loving like Desire, I'm loving Miracle, because it's come back with that like Ibiza vibe, which he kind of like teased a little bit, but you could tell the fact that he's living out there, that he's got more of that vibe about him.
Yeah, for sure.
It's huge. But even bigger tunes, like, you know, the one he would, who was it, Neo, Let's Go, and the other ones with like Florence and the Machine and all that. Like, that whole album
Rihanna,
for me was
Ellie Goulding.
just
like so
huge.
many. Literally so many. And obviously people follow in his footsteps as well, so he must be doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
He inspires so many people. And he's from Scotland.
Scotland, he is.
I love that he's from Scotland. Don't get me on my accents if here all night.
That's a separate pod.
That is a separate pod.
Accents with Harlee.
Scottish, Irish, Welsh. Yeah, he's great. I've always loved Avicii. Obviously, he's no longer here with us, but his music defo inspired me dance-wise.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the reasons why I'm so into dance music. I love his music so much. Who else? Dom Dollar.
Dom Dollar.
Dom Dollar. I think he's just really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just a vibe. He's an Aussie. He's in Australia. Sorry. I'm gonna have to stop doing this because it's just gonna like everyone's gonna be like, what on earth is going on? Or I might see this and be like, I'm definitely not collabing with her. She can't even get my accent right.
Yeah.
She? No. But he just collabed with Nelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Eat your man. I'll eat your man, devour him whole.
Oh.
Yeah, great. Who else? MK.
MK.
We love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he's great. See, it's just rolling off my tongue.
Yeah.
I mean, the list is endless. I'm just gonna maybe just stop myself now because I'm gonna be here all night.
I can imagine as well, like, you know, being in the industry and collabing with a couple of people before, you know, like you've collabed with Joel Corey, you were on Lonely, you've worked with James Hype on Afraid, you've worked with Navos and You and I. Like, the list, like you said, must be as long as your arm, if not longer.
My God, yeah. So many.
And I genuinely, I'm buzzing to see who you collab with next and your own solo projects. But in terms of, like, you know, your experience in the music industry, tell us a bit about that, because, like, you know, we said it last time, but, you know, a lot of people can see it as very glamorized and very lovely, and there's a lot of highs, but there can also be like a lot of lows as well. And, you know, as you said previously when we were off camera about being a young woman in the industry. So, like, tell us a bit about your experience in the music world.
It's been good. Like, you know, there's been so many ups and downs, which I think everyone can relate to in the industry. Like you said, a lot of people think it's glamorized and very different to what it actually is. Don't get me wrong, there's obviously that side to it, but it's there's a lot of graft and it's very competitive. Everyone's just trying to make it, as you know, as with any other industry. But I think it's just really important to always support one another, because I actually feel like the most successful people are successful by just, you know, being happy for other people, not bringing other people down, not kicking other people down to get where they want to be. Like, I just feel like everyone's trying to get a slice of the cake.
Yeah.
So don't be greedy. Do you know what I mean?
Share it out.
Share it out, literally. But yeah, I think I've learned so much being in the industry and I've grown so much as a person. Like, I'm 23, but I feel 32.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Which I don't think's a bad thing. I just feel like I've had no choice but to grow up, really.
Yeah.
You know, I've had to have thick skin. Because there's so many ups and downs. I feel like there's just the pressure can be hard to manage sometimes. So, like, with a song like Lonely going so big so fast, it was more like self-inflicting. Like, I was more self-inflicting the pressure on myself, but it was like, you know, is this normal to happen all the time? You know, like, a song's meant to do this all the time. And the reality is no.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can put a song out and it might go to number 1 or whatever, and then you can put a second song out and it maybe doesn't even hit the charts. But it doesn't mean that, you know, you're shit, you're not good enough, you're not talented, you don't deserve a place in like.
It also doesn't mean it's a bad song.
Yeah,
like
that's another thing. It's because
that's what can fuck with people's heads. Because 100%. Like you said, if everyone's expecting a number one and they're like, shit, I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
What's the point anymore? You know, like that's the thing. The tenacity comes in.
Yeah.
Like
100%. Like it doesn't mean that, because who's to say that it does mean that? I think again, it's self-inflicting that pressure and self-doubt that you've done a bad job and that you've failed, and like I've been so scared to fail because it's such a daunting feeling, and you know, sometimes I do think too hard or too much about what other people are going to think of me, which is something that I'm still learning to kind of like get out of. And it's hard though, because with this industry as well, like, you know, all eyes are on you.
And social media is a huge part of that as well.
Exactly. Like everyone's watching. And obviously you choose what you want to post and stuff, but it's not always the same as like the reality of it. So like me talking more openly about my mental health was something that I just really wanted to do, because I wanted people to have an insight on what I was actually feeling like. Not that I feel like I wasn't being honest, but I just wanted to take that extra step, because I don't think enough people do, because it's quite scary, and it's easier to be like, oh, it's fine, like I'm doing fine in the industry, like I feel nothing. I feel numb. But I just think it helps people more when you just talk about your feelings, because then people don't feel alone. People then feel the need to go talk to people, tell friends how they're feeling. Like, you know, everyone goes through the same things, and just because I had a song that went to number 4 doesn't mean that, you know, I was the happiest person on earth, because it's life. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that go on, and so many things that affect you, and it just obviously I was like made up. Like I don't want people to think that, oh my god, Lonely going number 4, how dare it. Like, no, I'm just spat everywhere. Ew. But yeah, like that's not what I want people to think. But yeah, again, it's more just like me being like horrible to myself. But
that's the thing, you know, you are in the industry, like you said about the thick skin earlier as well, like you are tough on yourself, because you need, again, you're putting your own self in that thick skin and the critics and this, that and the other. And I think, you know, we started chatting because you put a post out on social media and was just like, this is what's happened, this is this. And I was like, bang, fuck, this is the person that I need to get on the pod. Absolutely. And I'm so glad that you did, because like, for me, not a lot of people like to talk about their mental health. There's far less stigma about it now, but it's still such a taboo subject. And like you said, in the industry that we're in now, like some people can be like, oh, that's fantastic, but some other people can be like, oh, it's a bit fucking naff, that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a bit like, why would you do that? That's like, you know, and it's just it's so difficult to navigate, I guess, a lot of the time, right?
100%. I think, and you know, like some people don't like talking about it, which is like absolutely fine, because it's hard, and not everyone is surrounded by people who will make them feel comfortable enough to open up. I just have that mentality where I'm just like, I don't really care. I think people don't like it, fine. If people like it, great. I just kind of got to that point where I'm kind of just doing it for me, and then hoping that I can help other people. But I'd say another thing about the industry as well is, because I think you said about being a female in the industry. I'd say, it's a weird one, because I've heard so many unfortunate stories about, you know, certain females in the industry being mistreated and just, you know, getting treated differently, which is, it's not great. Like everyone should be treated equally. No one's less or above because they're male or female. Like it really doesn't matter. Like it's just like, I'm so over it. I just think everyone deserves the same opportunity. And like, I have noticed sometimes that, I don't know, say if I'm in a male dominated room, not all the time. I think it's especially when I've been younger and not had as much of a voice or like been as confident and stuff, I've felt like I've had to take a bit of a backseat, or that, you know, I'm not being listened to as much, or that, you know, my idea, I'll maybe say my idea and then it kind of won't get spoken about, then it'll come back later on by someone else. But it's kind of like, I do think a lot of the time, if you've got an idea or if you believe that, you know, you want your idea to be that song that day, you just got to speak up. You've got to be confident. You've got to own it. You've got to go in that room and not really care about, you know, what anyone else thinks or what if people are going to judge you or not, because again, like, you have got just as much of a right as anyone else in that room. And believe in yourself, believe in your craft, because any idea is good. I don't think any idea is wrong, is bad, is not good enough to be said. Like, I just feel like go for it, because you never know as well. There's been times where I think like people have like been able to tell that I'm holding back. Again, it can be self-inflicting, my own self, and that they've been like, you know, just say your idea. I can see that you're holding back, and then that's when I like let loose, and I'm like, oh, like a weight's been off my shoulders. But yeah, I do think it depends who you're surrounded by. But like I said, you just got to own it. Be confident, be direct, be sure in yourself, believe in yourself, and if anyone comes for you, tell them do one.
Tell them to fuck off.
Tell them to fuck off.
Fuck off. Leave it out.
Go on, love. No one wants you.
No one wants you. Get out. But like, so with your, you know, you were saying previously about the music and the songwriting and stuff like that. With your, you know, when you've had your struggles previously with things like, you know, we were saying about anxiety and stuff like that. Where, you know, firstly, where did your mental health struggles begin within, you know, the music industry part of it? But also, you know, how do you find that it affects your writing? Do you find that your writing changes in whatever mental state that you're in?
Yeah, I'll be honest. If I didn't have mental health issues, there probably would be no songs to write. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Just being honest, I do think that when tragic event, I'm laughing. I always laugh to like cover the trauma. It's just like a coping mechanism. But I feel like if my life was just dandy and you know, there was like nothing wrong and I had nothing wrong going on, then it would be much harder to write. Because I just love writing about how I feel. I love writing about people. You know, you done me wrong, so I am going to write a song about you. You're not getting away with it. I might have not confronted you, but I'm going to confront you in a song, because that's how I deal with things. It's just like, it's a way to deal with trauma. It's like my therapy. I mean, when I don't want to write a song about it, I'll go to my counsellor about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does depend. Like, sometimes I do find it harder. Like, there'll basically be times when I find it harder to write than other times. It's normal, because you get writer's block. It depends what's going on in your life, whether you're busy, whether you're stressed, whether you're just feeling a bit off. But I find that when I'm more busy, I'm more inspired to write. Like, I think most of my ideas come from when I'm actually doing things. So whether I'm in the shower, in the car, on the toilet, just walking the dog. Do you know what I mean? Just like actively doing things. I feel like that's being active. Your mind's gonna be active.
Yeah.
I see something on the street, I'm like,
yeah, that's something.
Yeah. A friend comes to me about their problems. I've wrote about their problems before. They know, don't worry. I think most of them. Sorry. I'll put you on the credits. Don't worry. I'll give you a little slice of the cake. Yeah. So yeah, I literally write about everything and anything. Because again, I don't think any idea is bad. I think write what the hell you want and just piece it all together. You know what I mean? It's just chaos and order.
Well, this is the thing. And like you said about Adele earlier, and, you know, being such a big inspiration in what it is that, you know, took on some of the musical influence and stuff like that. Like, she's made a whole ass career about breakups and stuff like that. Sensational voice. Well happy about that. But she's made a whole thing like that. So like, you know, when you're writing, and, you know, you said previously that you've suffered from anxiety in the industry and like gigging and stuff like that. Like, do you find that when you're sometimes at a lower point that your writing comes out and that it's actually like you know, you've got something different to offer than when you're in such a high mood.
Yeah, definitely. I actually find it harder to write happy songs, and I think a lot of people would be like, "Oh my God, yeah, I agree." It's weird. I enjoy writing happy songs, but I do think they're harder because they can be quite cheesy sometimes if you don't kind of hit the nail on the head. Whereas like sad songs, you can really just, you know, dive right into the emotion and the deeper meaning of it. But yeah, I think some of the best songs that I've ever wrote have been from like some of the most traumatic moments of my life. But I won't change it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hurt me again. Do it again.
I dare you.
I triple dare you. Yeah. No, but like, yeah, like there's songs that hopefully will see the light of day someday, that are about people that have been awful to me. But again, like the writing part of it has been my therapy, and I kind of want to say thank you. Like, thanks for doing it in a way, even though obviously it's shit.
Yeah.
But I've got songs that are gonna make up for all of the sleepless nights.
Yeah.
They're all the. Do you know what I mean? It's bittersweet, really.
I think that's the thing. Sometimes it can be a bit of a catalyst because, you know, we were saying about friends and family earlier.
Yeah.
You'll always have that one dickhead friend that's like, coming in, what you doing now? And keeps you properly grounded. Like, don't be a prick about it, you know, this, that and the other. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like you've got that person. But I think that, you know, when you have someone in your life that has hurt you, and again, you know, for me, I've had people in my life that have hurt me, and then my previous traumas with mental health has been about grief and loss, which I've spoke about before. And for me, that was the catalyst for me to be like, that's the conversation I need to have. This is what I need to talk about.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, you know, like when you were going through similar scenarios, that's again, like you said, where some of your best writings come in.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it like, even though it's easier to write those songs, it's definitely hard.
Yeah.
Harder. You know, there's been tears, there's been all sorts of emotions, but I've had that. I have a close knit family, which is supportive, but like I have a close knit writing family as well. I have, you know, certain people that I feel so comfortable writing with, and that I feel comfortable enough to get vulnerable with, which I'm just so grateful for. I feel like when you find those people in the industry, like, never let them go.
Yeah.
You know, you're onto a winner. But yeah, I've met some incredible people in the industry that have gone through similar situations to me, or 10 times worse. But I feel like you can learn so much from people that, you know, have gone through stuff.
Yeah.
And you can share from their experience and vice versa, and you can just put all the all the traumas into one song. Why not? More the merrier. But yeah,
it's the relatability as well, right? Like, you know, we were saying about Adele and the breakup stuff. There's loads of people that can relate to a lot of different genres of music as well.
Yeah.
But there's something that I wanted to pick up on that you mentioned earlier, and I genuinely am so happy that you mentioned it. You said that you see a counsellor, right? So tell us about, you know, tell us about your counsellor and your experience, because again, I think that there's such a stigma around seeing a counsellor. Everybody and their dog in America has a counsellor or a therapist, right? They've got one. Let's not sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think that where you've seen a counsellor, like, tell us about your experience, like, building yourself up to go see someone, but also first then stepping foot in the door, and how that's helped you mentally.
Yeah, so I think I just kind of reached a breaking point where it was like, you know, telling my friends and family is only going to get me so far, because I think a lot of the time, well, for me personally, like, I don't know, I think in a way, like, it's weird, like, I actually prefer telling someone that knows nothing about me, doesn't know me at all my problems, because it's from like a proper outside perspective, whereas like friends and family, obviously, like, they're amazing and they'll be there for you and all of that great stuff, but they can sugarcoat it a little bit, and they can only say so much, and it also starts to inflict on them. And I don't know, like, I started to just feel like, not embarrassed, but I don't know, it was becoming hard to constantly tell them the same things and kind of go to them with the same problems, and them not being able to think of like anything else to say. I really don't like putting my problems onto other people, which I feel sorry for my counsellor because I'm basically doing it to them, but obviously that's what they're there for. But yeah, I really just wanted to try it, and at first it felt quite awkward, and it felt like I had a zip on my mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think actually like doing it is different. Like actually, you know, getting the words out and being sat with them and being face to face with them, and like the realization that all of this stuff is just gonna come pouring out of you, and like the lids come off basically. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no going back now.
It's kind of out there now. Like
it was just a weird moment with that, and I don't know. Like it was really hard at the start, but I'm so glad that I did it. I feel like it's one of those things like you've got to do the most uncomfortable things sometimes, because that's how you grow, and that's, you know, how you become stronger and stuff. Like there's been so many things where I've been like, oh, I can't do it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. No, I'm uncomfortable. But then I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I did it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm forever grateful for my counsellor, and he's taught me so much. He's helped me so much. He's made me feel not ashamed for having feelings, and, you know, talking about things and being open about things and telling people how I really feel about them, being a bit more not confrontational, but
showing your teeth a little
like
bit
more
more
direct.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like just not beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Because I definitely had a tendency to let things get to a boiling point and then be like, bleh.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you know something's nagging you, just get it off your chest straight away.
Yeah.
And just talk about it, have a conversation about it, get it off your chest.
Get it off.
I need to write a song about that, actually. I've not wrote a song yet about getting things off your chest, so
there we go.
that was unintentional there, but
Beneficial. Give us that slice of the cake though, yeah?
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, but I'd recommend it to anyone. And like I said, like I know it's hard, and obviously people were brought up differently as well as to what, which is why I think it can be hard for it to be such like an open subject, because it can be embarrassing. It can be like, no, shut up, you're fine, put up and shut up.
Yeah.
Which I completely disagree with. But again, it's different environments, people, how you're brought up, people that you surround yourself with. Yeah. It's a weird one.
Do you know that one that gets me? When you see those mugs that are like, keep calm and carry on. That fucking quote every time.
Setting on fire.
I'm literally like, I'm doing my best. Like, I need a different mug now. Like,
yeah. Like, it can only do so much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But at least they're trying.
At least they're trying. They're getting there.
Yeah.
So Harlee, what's next for you then? Because you've got a shitload of stuff coming up, and I cannot wait to hear all of the stuff. Now, you've got a single coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've got a song coming out with Jess Bays tomorrow, which I'm super, super excited about. I really love this song. It came together like so naturally and so effortlessly, they're always the best ones. The ones that you don't overthink are always like great.
Love Jess as well.
Yeah, she's great. She's such a vibe. I love her. But yeah, we get on so well. So like the whole process has just been super chill, really fun. I'm excited to actually be performing it with her.
Yeah.
I'm going to be performing it with her tomorrow, release day.
I'll be there. I'll see you there.
Which is going to be amazing. And there's going to be a few other things as well, which I can't wait to announce about. So yeah, that's a vibe. And then I actually got one confirmed the other day that's also coming out. I won't say the date yet, but it's kind of like bam, 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 which is good. Like I'm so excited to just be back releasing again. I've missed it so much. I've missed the feeling. Like, I know I say I've got anxiety, but I've actually missed the feeling of having anxiety about release, because it's a completely different feeling. It's like It's like a good anxiety, do you know what I mean?
See, this is the
Like,
thing. This is exactly what I've had with this as well. This new series,
Yeah.
like a new pod. I was just like, oh, like I'm stressed to the hilt about it, but actually, it's good stress. Like there can be good stress at times,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And like for me, I was just like, yeah, I need to do this, and I'm like, oh my god, it's over my fucking head, and blah blah blah. But like, you know, it works out all in the end, and you know, like the single's coming out, and that's like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
really
banger.
excited. Yeah, and just like to be collabing with people again is just amazing. And then my own stuff that I've been working on for me, I'm really excited to get that out into the world as well, which I'm hoping will be next year, 2024.
Lovely.
Watch out. It's been in the works for a bit, but there's some really cool stuff that I want people to hear. Like, I feel like there's two sides to Harlee. Well, I'm a Gemini after all, so
Yeah.
I guess that's where it comes from. But no, like, obviously I love the dance and the pop stuff, but I might have some Adele in me somewhere.
You're gonna do a ballad.
I've definitely got some ballads and stuff, but they're the songs that I was on about, you know, where people have really like put the knife in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're the songs where it's like, get some tissues out,
Yeah.
have a sit down,
Yeah.
put your dressing gown on,
Yeah.
stick it on.
Get that ice cream out. Bang. Done.
Yeah, I was missing the ice cream.
Yeah.
Chocolate, the sweets.
Yeah,
everything.
literally.
Yeah.
But no, I love that though. Like I love it when like artists like yourself would do like the slower versions of songs that they've either done, or like you release songs that are ballads as well, because I feel like, you know, your voice is so unique and so amazing. Like I really love it. I can't wait to hear a slower down version of what you've got like in your vocal range with that as well, because
They're my
honestly,
favourite things to do.
yeah,
My favourite, yeah.
I love it. Like I think it's so good.
And it's so much more intimate as well. Like it's such an intimate interaction when you perform in those types of songs. I feel like that's where you can really hear and like feel the emotion.
Yeah.
I think the ballads are definitely my friends and my parents and my family's favourites. Like every time I play them, they're like, when can you release this? Please release this. I want this out. I want to be able to play this every day, but hopefully not too much longer.
Not too much longer.
We'll see. She's a versatile little thing.
She is. That's a little thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, so much going on. So excited. Well, Harlee, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And genuinely, thank you so much for being so open about your mental health as well. Like, I really think that it's been so beneficial and it's going to relate to a lot of different people. So genuinely, thank you so much. See you tomorrow for the gig. But honestly, as I said, like, I can't wait to see your future, your growth, and everything that's coming with it. She's back.
She's back and she's not leaving. Let's hope not. But yeah, thanks for having me though. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.